many years apart.
What do you mean? I've been here already.
He's expecting me. An old man on his last breath. The night I learn everything about him, he says he can't recognize his face. His heart grows heavy with regret. He begs me not to go. The words ring like a curse. Iris, he says. Don't go to Phoenix Springs. Yet here I am.
Huh? What the heck is this guy?
Persistent, glistening with sweat. Really taking it out on the electronics. Knock hard on something hard, he says. I should be building buckets, not fixing everybody's mess. Has he heard the name? We aren't supposed to do names, he says. I'm not sure what that means, but I pinpoint what repels me, not the pent-up violence or disdain. He's a stickler. How do I find Phoenix Springs? Already there, he says, not missing a beat.
Whoa, all of this is gone.
Thanks for nothing. I am no guide. I am no tarot card. I have dignity and needs. No accident. Looks to me like it fell from a great height. Can't tell if it's sabotage or repairs. The formation reminds me of digits. 1, 0, 1.
Go over there. I can't go over there?
Something about this specific formation. It's a gate, a portal,
There it is.
a tunnel that sucks me in. This is how I make it to the oasis. Green crater in the heart of the desert. Its gravity. It pulls me.
But how the heck did I end up back over there?
Picture of health. Lean limbs, clear skin. I'm stretching, he says. So I see, wake up and think, empty myself, do my sums, eat. So you see, it's mind, body, like alternating current. Some say it's one, but the binaries won't meet. He goes on. The man can talk, but not listen, apparently. He lists the steps in complete. Fireless.
Fireless. Crazy. What a crazy word.
It's used for storage.
Okay. I can't go in here anymore? So where's the Mason? Bored girl.
Standing there makes me...
Why is she here?
My superior was so boastful, she says, bragging about her 50. With all due respect, sounds to me like you've had... I bet we shouldn't talk.
Okay. He's not here. Things are a little different now.
White fingerprints stained the glass panel. Medium-sized hands. Flower. No gaps, buttons, or switches. It must lead underground. But how?
Whoa. But how? Is the picture still there? Yes. Wait, what? Rings drawing? No.
Concentric circles.
That's not what it was last.
Only limb. No markings on the plinth.
Dang it.
Cross-legged, entranced. Cables dance above her head. She bows. Any requests? I have questions. A question is a request, she says. Anything about the depths? The sound takes a somber turn. I don't have a theme, she admits. Either way, that won't open the lift. I mention him. She summons a melody. It's unstructured, as if scrolling through radio stations. I can't locate him, she confesses. Does the place inspire her? It sounds like a bomb or eruption. Then liquid. I don't know how else to describe it. She thanks me. What for? It's a privilege, she says, to spend time in there. Does she mean the music? Helmet? Head?
Huh. You can get to the high cabin from
Ancient
here.
furnace. Hasn't been fired in a long time. away.
What?
Hard at work. You know me, she says. I bring him up. She says it's lovely how I ask questions. Curiosity's in short supply these days. Everyone is so full, she whines, constantly pouring out. Doesn't answer me, though. What can she tell me about the place? It takes her a moment to reminisce, like she's traveled far and left something behind. I used to enjoy the dances, she says. She knows more than she lets on. How do I access it? Another thing they've moved, she says. The screen should be high up. Some fools must have complained. Others liked it too much. Outdoors, I remind you, we're not meant to have keys. What is she talking about? You'll find out soon enough, she says. I let her get on with her project. The material changes, she says, but the purpose is continuous. He considers each pot on the shelf, hesitates, repeats, rise, rise, rise. I think I hear him mumble. Let me guess, he's the baker. That's not a guess, he says. The bread won't shape itself. Can't argue with that. I ask about my brother. His eyes roll at the mention. Wherever I stand, he says, no matter what I do. There's forever a curious one asking about a lost one. I press him. I've come to accept, he says, that it might be better to forget. I ask how long he's been there. Is that such a crime, he asks. To change my mind? Not to my knowledge. I picture it so clearly, he says, the path to the sea. From A to B to C, at every turn, against my will, I can't help but curve left. I noticed flour on the lift. He whispers, is that where I left my memory? I think he let it slip. An admission he's been under. I offer to fetch his memory for him. But what is it? No point, he says, if I don't even remember what it is.
Anchor memory.
I ask questions, casting a wide net. I've come to accept, he says, that it might be better to forget. He's reluctant to remember. I must jolt his memory. Forgetfulness. Repetition. Complex internal logic that solves very little. It's frustrating, but I feel compelled to help him.
It's basically the same thing we're doing, too.
For grinding grain. Deep in thoughts, unclothed. 2 fingers on his left wrist. He's monitoring his pulse. Health concerns? He presents his artery as evidence. I haven't dreamed in years, he says, but I still remember my first heartbreak. A cracked rib cage, ripped out of my chest. Is that romance or surgery? I was taught dreams are a byproduct of sleep, he says. Now I know it's the reverse. He asks to be left alone. Even healers need healing.
I don't know who the heck that guy is.
Seems as ancient as the mountains themselves. Someone gather the ripest ones. No. Topless and perched. She's pruning. I noticed some of the harvest is rotting. Human hubris, she says. That's what fruit is designed to do. How do I help him recover it? She answers with a story, told to the oasis as much as to me. We're at the seaside, she says, and it begins to rain. Real cloudburst. We run for shelter. Our bare feet break the top layer of the wet beach. They reveal yellow, dry sand underneath the grey crust, as if we stepped in gold and tracked it behind us. I don't recall her face, she says, but my memory of the smell has never diminished. That's why I crossbreed and pollinate. Each bouquet is unique. It's your fingerprint.
What?
What kind of flowers could help? Sometimes, she says, I stand by the fire and imagine winter. It can't be done. Spring here is eternal. I can't remember chills next to the heat. But what about the boy? It's not a science, she says. It's a work in progress. I should ask him instead. How do I reach the lower levels? She says the routes down there are a riot, twice as wide and spread out as the canopy. So has she been below? Not in forever, she says. Any thoughts about the place? I planted every blade of grass here, she says, and it still confuses me. Does she know my brother? I was taught some grass is bad, she says, and some is beautiful. It seemed so arbitrary. All plants are miracles to me. She pauses, pinches and plucks a leaf. Grass becomes a weed, she says, when it takes more than it gives. It sounds vaguely threatening. I thought of these people as neighbors. They're isolated planets whose paths don't overlap. Floating on grass, buoyed by the earth. I hid a tracker on my lover, he says, to follow her path on the map. It was pathetic. Not so much the sleeping around, but the tiny circles traced in town. Drool runs down his chin. He's beaming. I ignore him. You think you're better than me? That's a question with no right answer. Remove the office clock, he says. See how often you catch yourself staring at an empty wall. Drool runs. He's beaming. I ignore him. Pointy, orchid-like. Strong smell I can only describe as medical. Striking black petals. Their perfume has a moldy tinge, but not unpleasant. Reminds me of the earth after the rain. Why? Cyan beauties, but the stench, like sour sweat. Bright red, but with a green smell. Herbaceous, mint or dill. Plain roses with a woody smell, like a mixture of sawdust and tree sap. Poppy-shaped, yellow. Rancid smell, like a smoker's lips or fingertips. I assume that's what they're for, but what is the right combination?
I see.
He inquires first. How do you access what's left below? This I would like to know. Submit yourself to the Silent One, he says. I've seen the past with my own eyes. Is that a clue?
Silent One?
He says the Silent One has answers. Can't tell if he's deflecting or toying with me. Any scents he's fond of. He says smells don't affect him. My sinuses have been stuffed for years. I only have nostrils left for flour. I'll have to take his word for it. I must find another trigger. Doors close one by one. Sometimes it's welcome. Who is the silent one? I was told they can help. You keep asking me that, he says. Do I? Regardless, I don't think he knows.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've been here. Is this guy the silent one?
He asks to be let. Even healers need healing.
Come on. Come on.
She tears pieces of paper off, chews them, spits and pounds them.
What?
She signals that her mouth is full. Jet black. Ground, charred tree bark. I would need a good reason. No, he said he left it below. But what is it? I can't quite connect the two. She signals that. Vacant stare. Just sitting there. Does he live here? He says he comes from a house where every door was locked. It was a family motto. Did you lock the door? Mother in the office. Did you lock the door? Father in the driveway. Did you lock the door? At least here, there's nothing to close. He doesn't speak again. He doesn't speak again.
Dang it.
Stained, sniffling man. Is he okay? I'm finished, he sobs. I'm no king. Everything I touch turns to feces. I let him wallow in his misery. I'm finished, I let him. I'm finished, I let him. Filled with paint. Primary colors extracted from liquefied fruit. Carved stone slabs. The artwork has been wrecked, as if redacted with streaks of paint.
Oh. Hello. Welcome in Labyrinth? And hello, Meredith. How are you?
Fire!
And welcome in, Meredith. What the heck? Wait, Labyrinth was here like hours ago. What happened? What? Hope you guys are well. Now that the holidays are over, mostly. You can finally rest in your own house. Oh, just mobile things. Cooking in the kitchen? What'd you guys make? I have so many questions, and none of them need to be answered. Just mobile things.
A headless builder brandishing a trowel, another vandalized inscription.
Oh, no.
I recognize a vial. The rest fell apart.
Vandalized inscription. So the mason is destroyed now. So the next one's the surgeon. The surgeon's next. And then what? What am I doing? Making pasta is shockingly easy. You had no idea. Chicken soup? Nice. Wait, pasta's shockingly easy? Yeah. The sauce is the hard part. Because it depends on what kind of sauce you want. But the sauce can still be easy. Depending. Wait, do you not cook? Does Labyrinth not cook?
White fingerprints stained the glass panel. Medium-sized hands. Flour. No gaps, buttons, or switches.
Sounds like a lovely meal.
It must lead underground. But how?
I like that. Oh, you're making it from scratch. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the most difficult part about that is shaping, I would say. So like getting it to be a noodle and then like how thin you want it, or if you don't want it to be noodles and you want it to be like different pasta shapes, like the shaping is the hard. But even then, like, it can get pretty relaxing, I feel like. It was ugly as heck. Oh, that's fine, though. That's fine,
That's
though.
as far as I go.
You mean rustic, yes.
Her
Yes.
standing there makes me uneasy. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says.
I like that Will chimed in to talk to compliment you on your pasta making skills. And he didn't answer when I asked how his day was. Because he knows that I know where he is. And it's probably just like whatever.
Finally ground.
Your sound wasn't working till right now?
With ashes.
Likely story. I'm just kidding. It's all good. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You've cobbled together a Frankenstein of computer parts to form a working setup? What the heck does that even mean? You have a computer at...
The ideal machine, he says, goes unnoticed.
You have a computer there.
Seamless engineering, invisible gears. No period pain. No freshers flu. No pins and needles. The man can talk, but not listen, apparently.
Huh?
She signals. She signals.
Some of the parts didn't work? I didn't know that part. So you took apart other... You just have spare towers lying around? Just have other computer parts just lying around? Just floating about? Just sitting there? Just wiggling around?
Dehydrated petals, fruit, bark, bleach, polished metal. It reminds me of a hospital room. That doesn't explain who they are. Or where? He doesn't speak.
God damn it. Boggers. Okay, I gotta look up a guide. Where do I go? Guide, please tell me where I go. I hate video guides.